It's our last look at the Stones Fitter Championship before we launch into the Sports Channel's exclusive coverage of the Kangaroo Tour. And what a match we've got for you tonight as Leeds take on St Helens in a game that always produces thrilling football. And it's coming to you live from Yorkshire's sporting capital here at Headingley. Well, hello again. It's another pleasant evening here in Yorkshire, and we really do have two sides who traditionally play fine football on show here today. Leeds and St Helens. It should be a great game, and these two sides coming into this match after shaky starts to the season, hoping to continue their recent improvement. Now, alongside me in the commentary box this week, Terry Flanagan, former Great Britain international. And Terry, as far as these two sides are concerned, I suppose really neither of them can afford to lose.
Yes, definitely, Eddie. St Helens, having two good wins in recent weeks, can go second to top today after the results of this afternoon. And Leeds, of course, with a good win at Warrington last week, are really going for the guns and trying to establish themselves in the game after spending all the money in the summer.
That's right. There always is high expectation here at Headingley. So let's take a look at how these two sides line up for our match here tonight. Well, Leeds have got John Gallagher at full-back. We get our first glimpse of him tonight. Phil Ford wears 2. He's back on the wing. Simon Irving's in the centre, alongside Carl Gibson, a New Zealand tourist. Vince Fawcett wears 5. Gary Schofield is back in the side for his first league match of the season at 6. Paul Harkin is his half-back partner at 7. Now that is Sean Wayne. He plays at 10. Maskill is 9. And that's Roy Powell, who's wearing 8. Paul Dixon's in 11, Cavill Hugh at 12, and Richard Gunn is at 13, and the coach, a great favourite here, David Ward. St Helens, that is the Leeds team, by the way, waiting to get this game underway. Here's the St Helens team. Gary Connolly is the young fullback. Alan Hunt is on the wing. Tia Rapati is in the centres, alongside Great Britain international Paul Loughlin. Les Quirk on the other wing. Half-back partnership, Andy Fairclough wears 6, and Jonathan Griffiths, former Welsh international, at 7. John Harrison is in 8. Bernard Dwyer carrying on as an emergency hooker at 9. Kevin Ward, he plays in 10. That's Phil Vivers, he's wearing 11. And that is Paul Jones, who is 12. Shane Cooper is 13, and the coach is Mike McLennan. So the two sides ready. There's the match referee, Colin Morris, and Gary Schofield gets this game underway. Driving the ball down the middle again for St Helens. Now watch for the kicking of this fellow tonight. That's Paul Loughlin, Great Britain international. And the first touch here on the Sports Channel for John Gallagher. And St Helens watching him all the way. Harkin at dummy half, much will be expected of him tonight. But the ball is released, but fortunately for Leeds, Powell's the man who's dropped on it. Here's Harkin. And that is an important feature of his game, the kicking, and it just beats Gary Connolly to the touchline. Paul Harkin, £60,000 worth of talent from Bradford Northern, and kicks like that, so important to his side. Connolly watching it all the way, see, and it just beat him to the touchline. So the two sides scrum down. Jonathan Griffiths of St Helens has the feed and has possession. Beavers the dummy half. And there's one of the tallest players in the game. John Harrison, 6 feet 5 inches tall. The man in the number 3 shirt for St Helens tonight played just one game for the Saints last season. Now here's Kevin Ward. Now there's Paul Jones. Now that is the tallest man, John Harrison, wearing 8. A good striding run and good tackling from Leeds. Good ball out to the far side. Quirk. Good defence from Leeds, just holding him out. And that is the 6th tackle. So they've been playing nearly 3 minutes. Let's get the first impressions from Terry Flanagan.
Yes, St Helens are really setting the stall out to throw the ball around here, Eddie. They started well with a good kicking game from Lachlan, and Shane Cooper's orchestrating things in the middle of the field. So we're expecting big things tonight.
Dixon had such a great game last week for Leeds. There's always a great deal of high expectancy here at Headingley. They've spent a fortune in the summer to try and get a winning team, and much of it has gone on this fella. And what a good run from John Gallagher. He's pulled down by Griffiths after the ball was kicked, and that's bound to be a penalty. And a bit of argy-bargy. Kevin Ward's in the middle of it. Dixon is 2. Well, this is not what we want to see. Just about every player on the pitch is involved there. And Colin Morris has got a bit of a job on his hands. This is the man who was hit, John Gallagher, and this is how that melee came about.
He was going to kick deep, Eddie, and he just came through the middle, having done it in the first player, and in came Jonathan Griffiths, an old Union colleague, and gave him a good body check.
And that really did set things on fire, and the referee is having a word with both the captains, Schofield in 6 for Leeds and Cooper in 13 for St Helens, and he's saying any more of that and someone will be on his way to the dressing room. And at the end of it all, it is a penalty to Leeds on the halfway line.
I think it's a measure of the tenseness out there tonight, that the way the players reacted to that slight body check there on John Gallagher.
Yes, the stakes are high, particularly in this first division this season. Then to restart. Harkin, Powell, forward on the drive. That's big Sean Wayne, brought into the side on £60,000 cheque from Wigan. Harkin, another big money buy in the summer from nearby Bradford Northern. Powell. And a penalty to St Helens by the looks. And look, Maskill and Dwyer squaring up to each other again. Let's have a look what happened here. Maskill dropped the ball and it was offside, the decision. Griffiths. That's Jones. You can feel the tension in the air here tonight. Both these sides know that they need the win. St Helens will move into joint second place in the first division if they win here tonight. And that really will set the stall out for the rest of the season as far as Saints are concerned. Lachlan forward on a good run. Cooper, the acting halfback. Vivers, Fairclough and Griffiths. Short little pass into the arms of Harrison. And well watched. This is the last tackle in this set. Fairclough. Easy for Gallagher. He read the play well.
I think a key man in this St Helens play will be number 13, Shane Cooper. We saw him a couple of occasions drifting from one side to the other, setting up play for his runners.
Leeds bringing the ball out of their own 22. Let's check on the conditions down on the side. And we have Peter Hutton down there. What are conditions like on the foot, Pete?
Well, conditions down here, quite a strong wind behind St Helens. That could prove an advantage to them. The one thing that the kickers have got to watch out for, it's slightly crossfield as well. That might confuse their kicking game.
Just over 7 minutes of the first half gone. No points on the board. Gallagher, the high kick to test his opposite number, the youngster Gary Connolly. And leading the chase was Gallagher. Connolly, though, doing well.
We see there that John Gallagher made the kick and made sure he was first there, thus playing all his colleagues onside.
Griffiths, but that was crossing. Griffiths was off on a run, and Tirapati came across. That's Jonathan Griffiths. But this is why the penalty has been awarded to Leeds.
You see Tirapati coming on a proposed short ball from Jonathan Griffiths, but he didn't unload and consequently went on behind him, causing an obstruction.
Been talk throughout this season that Leeds have been a little lightweight in the forwards. Well, David Ward has taken the chequebook out here at Headingley to remedy that situation. Steve Malloy is sitting on the bench. Sean Wayne is out there. 2 new signings within the past week. They spent £170,000 to prop up the pack. And here's Schofield to Gallagher. Lovely ball. Schofield again, we saw him do that to such good effect, didn't we, on the summer tour in New Zealand, and it's going to be a try, it is! Well, St Helens waved the white flag there, and Schofield spread chaos with a little kick ahead and followed it up himself to touchdown.
Here we see Gary Schofield late in the tackle count, causing all sorts of confusion in the St Helens defence. Very powerful, he wasn't prepared to be second man for this, he was chasing and harrowing all the way through. And even number 10 missed him, Kevin Ward, his GB colleague, and there goes Gary, great try. Here we see a little switch from Schofield again, the chip, the chase, he was hungry for this try, he was hungry.
And Schofield doing what he has done so well for Great Britain, particularly on the summer tour of New Zealand, following up his little kick ahead and touching down behind the posts to make this kick for Simon Irving as easy as that. His 15th goal of the season for Simon Irving, another former rugby union signing for Leeds, and it's Leeds 6, St Helens 0, and we've been playing just 10 minutes. So first blood to the men from Yorkshire.
St Helens obtained possession from the kick-off there. Leeds coach David Ward won't be too pleased with that. They were rather sloppy at the 10 yards and came away with the ball, but consequently occurred an error themselves.
Sean Wayne again, he's seen plenty of it in the opening 10 minutes or so here. Good play from Dixon. Oh, this is good from Leeds. Simon Irving just brought down by Andy Fairclough. Harkin, watch those kicks. He'll punish St Helens all evening with those.
Again, we'll see the feature of Paul Harkin's kicking game, where he does short 30-40 yard kicks low to the ground, into the touch line, in contrast to Paul Loughlin's large punts from the St Helens with the wind.
St Helens have head and feed. Griffiths gets it back for St Helens. Oh, that's a good run. Oh, and Big Tirapati was steaming up on the inside there. Cooper. Jones again. Good tackling from Leeds. Watching the big men as they come through. They don't come any bigger than this fellow. But what do they say? The harder they fall, isn't it, when they're that big? Fairclough. Bernard Dwyer at dummy half. Beavers. Cooper. Rapati again. Alan Hunt. He's trying to do a Gary Schofield. Harkin Harkin read it brilliantly.
St Helens may have been better advised to kick deep on that occasion. They're obviously fulfilling their promise to throw the ball around, and Alan Hunt finishing off with a chip over, but Paul Harkin was back covering his defence.
Richard Gunn in possession. He created the try for Gary Schofield. Try that separates the two sides at the moment. 6-0 to Leeds. Phil Ford in possession for them. Schofield again. Another punishing kick. That'll think will be the feature of this match. The kicking of both Schofield and Harkin. When those two are operating at half-back, kicks like that almost break the opposition's heart.
Yes, it relieves so much pressure to a tiring forward pack, and when those guys put the kicks in, the most pleasing guys are the forwards.
Griffiths. Offside against Leeds. It's a penalty to St Helens. Lachlan deposits the ball into touch and gets good distance too. Griffiths. Cooper. And Ward and Cooper again. That's good play. Beavers. Long pass out to that far side. Quirk, if he would have taken it, had the line at his mercy. Now it's a race between Ford and Connolly. And Connolly, the young man, wins that particular challenge.
St Helens are very committed to attack, Eddie. They threw the ball very wide on the first tackle there, and they weren't even in the Leeds half.
Well, St Helens haven't got a great record here at Headingley. The last time they won here was 4 years ago. But this match never fails to produce its fair share of points. Leeds ran in over 50 here against the Saints last year, and when St Helens last won here, they ran in 40. So settle back tonight. I think we're in for plenty of entertainment. 6-0 so far. Gallagher forward on the burst. St Helens will have to watch him. He scored his first try in the professional ranks last Sunday. He's getting to grips with rugby league now. He's played it 4 games. Kevin Ward penalised for a high swinging arm in the tackle. Referee holds the clock up. And this is why. Richard Gunn in possession, and Ward with a swinging arm.
Yes, Richard Gunn came on a strong run there, but Kevin Ward just brought the left haymaker up, and it certainly brought some tears to Richard Gunn's eyes there.
So Richard Gunn, fit and well. Quarter of an hour of the match gone. Leeds still ahead. 6 points to 0 and looking for more here.
Leeds are playing a more simple, basic game at this point. We see a set piece here.
Schofield again, creating havoc every time he gets the ball. Powell, this fellow will use his strength whenever he can. Griffiths and Cooper wrestle him to the floor. Maskill restarts. Schofield. Oh, great play again. Just a foot short. This is the last tackle. And there's one for Gallagher to chase. Has he got the try? He has, I think. The referee's given it in. Gallagher gets his second try in successive matches. And they are delighted.
It was that man, Schofield, again, who received the ball from Gunn, put a low kick across the line. Again, St Helens were slow to react. Jonathan Griffiths was about to pounce, and in comes Gallagher, very hungry, straight on the ball in a downward movement. Good try.
Every time Schofield gets it, there is chaos for St Helens. It was on the last of the tackles in this set. Look at Gallagher, alert to it there. And Griffiths, well, he'll be furious with himself for allowing him to get that one.
The benefit of Gary Schofield putting the low cross kick across the line as his defenders are coming on at speed, and the ball is live in the in-goal area for a lot longer.
Well, Gallagher really is getting to grips with the professional game now. First try last Sunday, second try in front of the Sports Channel cameras here tonight. And Irving with a chance to improve that try, and that's the angle he has. But he pushes it wide this time.
I think St Helens will be much better deploying a long kicking game rather than throwing the ball around on the first tackle. They haven't been in the St Helens in the Leeds 25 as yet, and the game is 20 minutes old near enough.
And Leeds will be delighted with that situation. They lead here 10-0. I told you we're in for plenty of points here tonight. Looks like we're not to be disappointed. Jones just making sure that Maskell's going nowhere. Wayne does well. Powell. And there's Gallagher again.
Good decision by John Gallagher there. He kept hold of the ball when the man coming up on his winger was about to be tackled.
Oh, and Ward went in again then with a swinging arm in the tackle on Powell. Referee lets it go. Last tackle of this set for Leeds. Schofield again puts his boot to the ball. Connolly this time read the situation well. Leeds had moved up, but had tackled him illegally. Another swinging arm. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Phil Ford, I think, the offender.
Number 3 came in over the top there, and the referee straight on the spot gave the penalty.
Ford was high, Irving was high, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, eh?
They're on the same side.
So St Helens in the Leeds 22. Both sides, I think, knocked on there.
You find an element of frustration in St Helens play here. The first chance they've got in the League 25, and Kevin Boyd, he didn't have the eye on the ball, eye on the man, consequently on the floor.
So it's Leeds who have head and feed, and there's the scrum count. St Helens have won it so far 3-0, but now it's 3-1. Carl Gibson in the number 4 jersey tonight for Leeds. Great tourist for Great Britain in New Zealand. So was this fellow in possession for Leeds now, Paul Dixon.
The Leeds forwards are running a hell of a lot stronger, more than the St Helens forwards. Stronger direct, and that's giving them good yardage.
Powell and Ward on the collision course there. Harkin, look, he's looking to kick every time he gets it. That's another great kick from the little man. Hunt has to retreat almost to his own try line before picking up. And the chasing wasn't too bad either. You bring him down, that's his own 22 line. And a penalty to St Helens, despite the fact that Gallagher took that so cleanly, and this is the reason why. Loughlin's kick, and the challenge from Maskell, just a touch late. So St Helens really on the charge here now. A try would be so important to them. Referee waiting to see what happens, and Leeds come up with the ball.
Yes, Shane Cooper came up for a very quick tap at that point, trying to catch the Leeds defence whilst they weren't waiting. But a couple of mistakes, and we're now back in midfield.
And Tira Party, I think, the guilty party there. Bit of frustration showing in St Helens' play. Referee saying he used his elbow in the tackle on Carl Gibson. So it's a penalty to Leeds, which John Gallagher takes. Leeds really are running the show. I suppose, Terry, it is a question that St Helens at the moment are just a touch frustrated.
Yes, they don't seem to be settling with the ball and obtaining any sort of game plan. Every time they get in the Leeds half, they're throwing silly passes in, spilling the ball on the first and second.
But not Leeds. Here comes Schofield again. That looked forward, a mile forward. The referee agrees. Cavalier just steamed up on the inside too quickly, and Schofield furious with himself in midfield.
Yeah, we saw an excellent set-piece move up the middle there with Gary Schofield going to the fullback. The final pass was forward, but Leeds have got a platform with the front row forwards making good yards, and that's giving Harkin and Schofield the relaxation to produce some good moves in the middle.
Lachlan looked like he is still feeling the effects of that late challenge by Maskill a few moments ago. He will almost be certainly named in the Great Britain squad on Wednesday to face the Australians, who fly in tomorrow. And of course St Helens, the team in possession now, open the Kangaroo Tour at Nosey Road here on the Sports Channel next Sunday.
There we saw a feature of the Leeds defensive line with Gary Schofield moving up very, very quick out wide, thus enabling St Helens have to come back inside and not getting the ball wide.
Griffiths, that was almost a break from him, but what good tackling again from Paul Dixon. A high kick to test Gallagher. Oh, great take from Gallagher, and he was hit legally this time, but he held on.
There we see the high bomb. John Gallagher positioned beautifully, excellent technique, and a big hit from Alan Hunt.
Well, if you want to play this game, you have to learn the hard way, don't you? And they really are putting Gallagher to the test with those high bombs.
And he's performing very, very well. He's already got one try, kicked well already, and took that ball like a veteran.
£350,000, the former All Black, London born. I wonder whether he'll be in the Kiwis jersey in years to come, or Great Britain.
St Helens must try and establish a camp in the Leeds half here. They're looking well. They've got a nice midfield position and a good deep line either side. Let's see what they can do.
Jones doing well to unload to Griffiths. Another man, of course, there in the number 7 jersey for St Helens, learning the trade since a big money move from Welsh Rugby Union. Now then, there's a chance here for St Helens. This is a great break from Connolly. He's got a man out wide. Oh, he should have released the ball. But that was a good tackle from Gallagher. But he was holding the man down in the tackle, and so it's a penalty to St Helens. But really, it should have been a try.
Tremendous break from St Helens there. They moved the position to the right of the field, and there we see the ball going out wide to Gary Connolly, who made a super break up the middle, but should have given the ball to the left-hand winger. Gallagher was very keen to not allow him to play the ball, held his legs, and gave the penalty away.
So John Gallagher gives away the penalty, and that's the distance and the angle that Paul Lachlan has to put Saints back in the match here. He's a kicker of some repute, as you can see there. And this one is well within his capabilities. Exactly 10 yards in from touch on the far side of the field as we watch. And a great kick it was too.
St Helens should have done better at that point. It could have been 6 points quite easily there. It was the first time they'd established themselves in the Leeds half, and they moved the ball left. Connolly made a great break, but did the wrong thing at the final point of contact.
So, just the 2. Should have been 6. But St Helens, I suppose, importantly from their point of view, they're on the scoreboard. And 28 minutes of this first half gone. Party underneath the kick-off, and he's kicking it straight back down the other end of the field again. Oh, and that's why the referee was quickly there onto that mistake by Gallagher.
St Helens seem to be now understanding the measure of the wind. A big deep kick from Party straight from the kick-off. Quite unusual, but it put Gallagher under pressure. He didn't have the eye on the ball, and a fumble and a scrum to St Helens.
They've got possession from the scrum. Now for the last couple of minutes St Helens have done well. That's a good break from Andy Fairclough. Griffiths from dummy half. That looked a bit high too. There's been a bit of rain here in the north of England over the past 24 hours. Good ball though that to Loughlin. Beavers that looked forward, and I think anyway that Alan Hunt have lost it. Goes sliding into the advertising hoardings round the ground.
St Helens had Leeds all at sea here. They had the men over. They definitely had excellent players out wide available, but the handling was not up to scratch.
And the man who tackled him, Gary Schofield. That ball didn't go into the scrum. And it forced it in the face. And the referee's called a knock on. Harkinfield, look, Fawcett wasn't even looking. Hit him in the chest, actually. Fawcett wasn't ready for that. So here's pressure from St Helens. Griffiths going on his own. His legs are over the line, the ball isn't. Desperate defence here from Leeds. Beavers. The party. Oh, and it's surely being held there. And he was indeed, the referee again, right on the spot. And Richard Gunn, the offender. Rapati, the man in possession, look, he's trying to play the ball. And Richard Gunn, not watching what's going on, is clinging onto the ankle saying, "You're going nowhere."
St Helens are showing a little bit more composure at this point and forcing Leeds into it. Already we've seen Gallagher fumble the long kick and Fawcett coming in, not really waiting for the ball. They've got their stripes back in the last 2 or 3 minutes, and they're putting a little bit of pressure on Leeds now.
Penalties. Leeds 4, St Helens 6. And this could be the most important of the lot here, because it will put St Helens right back in the hunt. But it should be meat and drink to a fellow like Loughlin. Let's see. Mr. Reliable for St Helens, Paul Loughlin. His 23rd goal of the season. I remember that tour well, and he played wonderfully all the way through. Let's hope he can in the current series that's up and coming against the Australians. 10-4 then, Leeds ahead, and 8 minutes to half-time. Well, I would think that Leeds would be a little niggled at this stage, that they're only 6 points to the good.
After establishing a good foothold on this scoreline, Leeds must be frustrated that they haven't done better in the last 10 minutes or so.
Gallagher collecting the ball well and being tackled by St Helens players who had moved in to tackle him and not allowed him 10 metres of room. They're all offside when they do that. Gallagher this time trapped the ball with his legs and then picked it up on the bounce, and St Helens had moved up too quickly.
It was significant that John didn't actually take the ball on the full on that occasion. Perhaps he's looking forward to establishing his confidence after the last drop.
Sean Wayne. And just about level pegging on the team tackle count.
It's a measure of the game that Leeds had the first 15 minutes, but St Helens have certainly had the last 10 or so.
Here come Leeds again, though. This is Cavalier, great run from him. Big, strong, powerful Australian. Leeds come again. Schofield, always danger when he gets the ball. Here he is again. It was a good pick-up by Paul Dixon, and Loughlin's pinched the ball from him. And Shane Cooper not happy with the elbow. It was used on that occasion. It's getting a little untidy again there. The players are gathering round the referee. Tempers are on a very short fuse here at Headingley tonight. And this is the reason why.
There he goes, Paul Dixon going through, loses the ball. In come Maskell with a very blatant elbow. I'm surprised that the referee I touched her didn't see that in more full sort of picture there.
And of course, Loughlin was holding his jaw earlier on after a challenge by Maskell. And now Maskell has got him for the second time. But it's Phil Vivas who's being pulled out by the referee. And I think Mr. Morris is telling Phil Vivas that he is the man in black and he will referee the game as he sees fit.
I'm sure the St Helens lads had one or two things to say about that incident. It was quite blatant from Colin Maskell, and Paul Loughlin is suffering a little bit, and Maskell was having quite a bit of a lecture.
Maskell is told to cut it out. I don't know whether that's much of a consolation to Paul Loughlin, but he has recovered sufficiently, but not enough to be able to take the kick, which he would normally do from a situation like that. But he's been in the wars, Paul Loughlin. And he's got an important task ahead of him if he is named in Malcolm Reilly's squad for the Ashes series against Australia.
A good couple of drives from St Helens there with the prop forwards. We may see a switch shortly, as we can see the St Helens players looking ready on the top side for a good movement of ball.
And again, the referee has called foul against Leeds, penalty to St Helens. Jonathan Griffith, the man in possession. Let's see what the penalty's for. For that, Sean Wayne with a swinging arm in the tackle. Well, the referee surely has got to get a grip of this, as they say.
Yes, the discipline has just dropped from both sides within the last 5 or 10 minutes. Again, it's probably due to the situation that the game is swinging on a knife balance at the moment, and one or two players are just getting a little bit over frustrated, and consequently the odd stiff arms going in.
Colin Morris is the man in the middle. Last year's Premiership final referee, so he's used to the big occasion. They don't come much bigger than our matches here on the Sports Channel. And Loughlin has recovered to a certain extent to take this kick. Now, I know he's a goal kicker of quality. The wind is at his back. Will he get this one? He's just inside the Leeds half here. He's missed it, but the ball's gone dead, and so that means that St Helens will get the ball back in a moment. Well, Loughlin seemed all right with that kick, but Peter Hutton is down by the trainer's bench and can bring us up to date with his condition after those heavy challenges.
Well, the physio is a bit worried about the state of Paul Loughlin. She says he took a nasty blow to his head. She was worried that concussion might set in. At the moment, he's just a bit dozy, in his words, but they're going to watch it closely and see how he develops.
So Loughlin not wanting to come off. And who can blame him? His side really are back in the hunt here. Griffiths took his eye off that ball for a moment, and they're all losing the ball. It's gone very scrappy. Referee in on it. It's a knock-on.
Excellent defence from Leeds here. They were up very quickly on the man, and Jonathan Griffiths lost the ball. Carl Gibson obtained it, and then he lost it.
And the referee gave head and feed to St Helens, and has seen a problem at the scrum, so it's a differential penalty to St Helens, a scrum penalty. And we heard on our grand final coverage this week the Australian commentators absolutely amazed when a scrum penalty was awarded in the grand final. They say over there it's almost unheard of. I think they've got a shock in store when they get off that plane tomorrow.
Yeah, a few Australians will have a few eye-openers in the forthcoming few weeks.
St Helens then really have the scent of it here. There's Loughlin. There doesn't look too much wrong with him, does there? That looked forward too, but the referee allows play to continue. Harrison, the man in possession. Dwyer. Fairclough trying to get over on his own. Look how close. Just a foot. Dwyer again. Good cover defence from Leeds. Lash tackle. Oh! I think Shane Cooper almost headed that.
I think Shane Cooper was identifying he was going to put a headbutt in there onto the ball, of course, and he well and truly tried that.
Well, that's the most unusual moment I've seen in rugby league for a long time.
I saw Shane signifying he was going to do that. He picked the ball up, headed it forward, it hit a lead player, but quite a novel ploy near the try line there from Shane.
Maybe Bobby Charlton's got a future in this game after all that.
He may make a comeback.
Anyway, the referee decided it was a penalty to Leeds.
I must say that's the first time in my years of experience that I've seen that attempted, and I may just pull Shane afterwards and just look at the thinking behind that then.
Yes, you must ask him what was going through his mind then.
At this stage in the half, I expect Leeds to take 3 or 4 good drives and then a long breaking kick.
Well, we're playing time now added on by the timekeepers, and there's been 1 or 2 injuries and moments when the referee has held the clock up to have words with players. And a bit bad-tempered at times. But a match of such importance to both these sides. And that just didn't go out. And Quirk picks up. Another heavy tackle, but Leeds get it back. And here they come again. Gallagher on the burst. Well watched by Fairclough. Coming up to half-time, St Helens won't want to concede another try. This is Sean Wayne.
You may see a Paul Harkin drop goal at this point, just trying to nudge their noses a little bit farther in front. Probably after the next tackle.
He's standing out there wide, but not this time, as we see he was linking in. And here he is again. Oh, the ball just popped up and into the arms of Loughlin. I must say the forwards are going in on each other with raw bone challenges here.
The power is unrelenting from both sides. St Helens are taking it hard now after a first shaky 10 minutes, and the Leeds tackling is equally as powerful.
Cooper's kick ahead. Griffiths is following it up. Cooper's collected it himself. Beavers in support. Poor pass from Beavers, but it bounced kindly in the end for Lachlan. Lachlan gets it out to that far side. This is Quirk. Quirk looking for support. Support's not there. Whoop. Griffiths. Beavers again. Cooper. He's got Hunt out here. Oh, and Hunt drops it. And there's the half-time siren as Alan Hunt dropped that ball with the try line begging. So the two sides go off for a well-earned half-time break. We have the second half of this one for you, and it's still all to be won. 10-4 at half-time, right after. And welcome back to Headingley. 10-4, Leeds are ahead here. It's been a bit of a frustrating half for both sides, really. St Helens, though, will be glad that they're only 6 points adrift, and Leeds will be furious that they're not more ahead at this stage. 10-4, it's all to be won in that second half. Well, let's take a look at the rest of the results now from today's Stones Bidder Championship. There is the results from the First Division, and look at that win for Bradford Northern. 31 points to 30. They've beaten Wigan at Odsal, and Ellery Hanley was sent off just before half-time there. Good win for Castleford. I believe you just lost sound, so Bradford Northern have beaten Wigan by 31 points to 30. Castleford, a good win for them against Featherstone Rovers in the local derby. By the way, at Odsal, in case you missed it earlier, Ellery Hanley sent off. Great win for Wakefield Trinity, beaten by 18 points to 12, Hull Kingston Rovers. Rochdale 18, Hull 30, but Rochdale stretched the league leaders all the way. Hull, though, maintain their unbeaten opening to the season. And Sheffield Eagles 18, Warrington 20. So some great matches in the First Division. And in the Second Division, Carlisle have gone top after that win. Wins for Dewsbury, Halifax, Hunslet and Lee. They've beaten Chorley heavily. And in the rest of the Second Division, Nottingham beaten by Swinton, Huddersfield beating poor old Runcorn, Trafford Borough beating Workington, and Whitehaven beating Barrow. So you're up to date with what's happened in the Stones Bidder Championship today. Next week, of course, here on the Sports Channel, we turn our attention to the Australian Tour. And the first match of the much-awaited Kangaroos Tour takes place at St Helens next week in 7 days' time. So it really is a treat for everybody. Here on the Sports Channel, of course, we will bring you every match of the tour. That's 13 games over the next 10 weeks. It's all about Australia. Well, let's take a look now at a couple of the players who are making the trip from down under. They arrive in Manchester tomorrow morning, don't forget, just after 8 o'clock. And we look today at the players who are after the number 7 jersey in that Kangaroo team. Well, Alan Langer from Brisbane holds the number 7 jumper for the Kangaroos at the moment. Langer's 23-year-old. He stands at only 5 feet 4 inches tall. He's making his first tour of Great Britain, but looks the man to feed the scrums in the test matches. And at Brisbane, he formed a great partnership, first with the legendary Wally Lewis, and then fellow tourist Kevin Walters. Alan Langer. Ricky Stewart is the main threat to Langer. He's a superb line kicker, fresh from winning the man of the match in Canberra's win over Penrith in the grand final. He holds the half-back position for New South Wales in the State of Origin team. At 23, he's a dual international, having previously toured Great Britain with the Australian Rugby Union Wallabies. And Stewart's opposite number in the grand final was Greg Alexander. He'll be on his second visit to the old country, having toured with the undefeated 86 Kangaroos. He's been in superb form with Penrith at half-back, but has been picked virtually as a utility player. He can play anywhere in the back line equally well. So they are the men who are battling it out for that number 7 jumper in the Kangaroos side. And don't forget, as I say, every match of that Kangaroo Tour right here on the Sports Channel. We're thrilled about it. I'm sure that you will be as well. Right, Leeds against St Helens, second half coming up.
Entertainment for you in the half-time interval with sprint relay races featuring teams from various parts of the rugby league. A team from Leeds and a team from Doncaster. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. As you can see, they're just moving the track away. And I've already seen the Leeds contingent: Phil Ford, John Gallagher, Simon Irwin, and I'm sure you're in for a great treat at half-time. As you can see, the half-time entertainment commencing here with teams from Wakefield, Sheffield, Doncaster and Leeds taking part in the sprint relay. And we've got the world's most expensive rugby league player, John Gallagher. Sheffield Eagles have brought to the stadium this evening, a good family atmosphere here. I can see lots of children, lots of women, and that's the way it should be at rugby league matches. Lots of women. Just lining up for the start, and I think it's going to be Rob Ackerman who runs first for Leeds. And Leeds, of course, will start as favourites. They've got the pace. I know through watching them that John Gallagher has tremendous pace. Obviously, Vince Fawcett, Simon Irwin not lacking in that department either. But we'll have to see. We won't really see how they start until the lanes cancel each other out in the back straight. Players just lining up now with the batons in their hand, and the players obviously enjoying this. They're having a lot of fun. You can see Rob Ackerman and Pennant from Doncaster just discussing tactics, no doubt. They make sure, of course, that they don't drop the baton, otherwise they'll be disqualified. Just lining up now, Ian Brook, I think it is, who's got the pistol, the starting pistol. They've certainly got the time clock there, and they're down on the marks and they're just lining up to go off. So this 110 metres, 4 by 110 metres relay race gets underway and they're off. See the Doncaster man just catching up Rob Ackerman there and coming in for the first changeover. It's going to be Ackerman and John Gallagher for Leeds, and John Gallagher's going to go now, and that's the pace of John Gallagher. Look at him go there. What a tremendous run from John Gallagher. He's going to hand over to Simon Irwin, and it's Leeds if they don't drop the baton. And Simon Irwin coming round. The Doncaster catching up very fast there on the inside lane, and it's Vince Fawcett going to finish off for Leeds. And Vince Fawcett now powering away, and Leeds are going to win this, and Doncaster are going to finish second, I think. A tremendous run there from Vince Fawcett, and the Sheffield number 5 there coming up to take second place. Well, a tremendous finish there, a tremendous run from John Gallagher, and if Leeds have won that one, which they have, then you can thank John Gallagher. That was a tremendous run from him down the back straight there, leaving everyone else for dead and showing the pace that prompted Leeds to spend 400,000 on this New Zealand All Black. Hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll be back shortly for the kick-off.
And welcome back to Headingley. Apologies to you all. I believe that we had problems with our sound from Headingley during the course of the half-time interval. However, we are back here and waiting for the teams to emerge for the second half. Possession time has been split absolutely equally between the two sides in the first 40 minutes. And one or two of the other interesting statistics. The team tackles around about equal, and it's noticeable that Roy Powell is the leading tackler for Leeds with 19, and Kevin Ward leads the tackle count for St Helens. And Kevin Ward telling me before the match that he wanted his Great Britain jumper back for the Kangaroo Tour Series. There's Roy Powell, who's led the battle from the front for Leeds, and John Gallagher, who is beginning, I think, to know what rugby league is all about. Paul Loughlin about to get this second half underway. St Helens have won the scrums, by the way, 6-2, and the penalties have gone to St Helens 10-6. Errors all square at 6 apiece as Loughlin restarts this second half, and the ball out on the full. Bit of an error from Paul Loughlin right at the start of the second half?
Yes, St Helens would have been looking to get into the Leeds half and try and get hold of the game again, and that's a poor kick from Paul, going straight out on the full, gave a penalty to Leeds, and will give Leeds the impetus of beginning the second half.
So Gallagher will get the chance to take this penalty from the centre spot. So Leeds on the attack right at the start of the second 40 minutes. There's Kevin Ward leading the tackle count for St Helens this evening, dropping a big hint to Malcolm Reilly. He names his Great Britain train-on squad on Wednesday. I wonder if we'll see Kevin Ward and come to that Lee Crooks in Great Britain jerseys in this series, Denny.
Yes, we certainly need the big guns out against the Australians for the first test at Wembley, and I think those guys will figure prominently in Malcolm's plans.
Australians certainly are frightened to death of both Crooks and Ward. Of course, there are a lot of very good players vying for position. And the party brought to ground eventually.
There we saw the strength of Taylor Party. He brushed off 2 or 3 tackles in a situation near his own line, and was still struggling to make yardage even when the final tackle came in.
There's Ward again. Cooper with the run. Here's Lachlan. I would think he's a certainty in that Great Britain train-on squad. Gallagher collects and uses the wind to test Gary Connolly, just as he was tested in the first half. Well, that's out on the full, and there's a mistake.
There we see the modern kicking duel that goes on these days. Connolly forcing his kick on the outside of the touchline. Gallagher having put him under pressure.
Gary Connolly. Scrum count. St Helens 5-2. Oh, great play again. Gallagher joining the line. Oh, and just over the top of Vinnie Fawcett. And look who's tidying up at the back for St Helens, trying to make amends for that error, young Gary Connolly.
That was an excellent set piece from Leeds. They took the ball across, and it was the second phase players coming across who finally tried to put the winger away.
Over the top from Shane Cooper. We talk about the kicking game of Harkin and Schofield. That wasn't bad.
Shane Cooper, a good kick to touch there, forcing the scrum in the Leeds half. Mindful of the strong wind against him, so a small kick into the touchline, gaining some yardage.
And a penalty at the scrum. 2 Leeds. So the Australian commentators talked in utter amazement when the scrum penalty was given in the grand final. They are in for a big shock when they get over here. The different interpretation of the rule by the English referees. Roy Powell. Another high collision between Ward and Cavill-Hugh. Referee said that time everything was legal. Schofield. Lucky to get away with that.
Leeds just run themselves out there. There were too many players and they were all very flat in the line, and Schofield threw a speculative pass.
There's Harkin drilling it through with the inside of the boot. Now Hunter's got to get out of there. If he's tackled behind his own line, he's in trouble, and he's getting pushed back, and that's good play. Good chasing by Carl Gibson, and Hunt pushed back when he knew he was in the danger area.
Yes, a duel here between Gibson and Hunt. Hunt shoving his left leg down there, trying to restrain from going into his area, but Gibson got the better.
And it's all resulted in a dropout from underneath their own posts, and Gallagher is onto it in a flash. Sustained pressure then from Leeds at the start of this second half. And they're inching closer to that try line.
There we see the maestro, Gary Schofield, looking where St Helens' defensive line is, and I'd be expected to see something from him.
Sean Wayne just an inch or two short of his second try for his new club. Alan Hunt, a great run down the right-hand touchline. Good tackling from Gallagher again. The crowd rise to Gallagher every time he gets involved. And what's more, he's forced the error.
Gary Schofield took a lovely movement to the left there and put a good ball out to the winger. However, Alan Hunt came in, intercepted, and made good yardage coming away from his line. As we see, the handoff shrugs off the first tackler. Good stride, good power, and he seems to run straight directly into John Gallagher's path, who recovered well and brought him down.
People express surprise when rugby union converts make an impression on rugby league, but players who come into this code now from rugby union, they are good rugby players, aren't they?
Yes, especially the backs are good players. They're strong, they're fit, they're fast. As we saw there with John Gallagher, he's got all the makings to make a top star.
Shane Cooper involved as a result of this challenge on Carl Gibson, and that was a little high. The referee is having a word with his touch judge. Cooper looking on quite concerned. And the referee wants a word, but not with Shane Cooper, but with Rapati. So Rapati has been given a ticking off by the referee, and now he wants a word with Colin Maskill of Leeds.
Colin Maskill, the Leeds hooker, has been involved in most of the fracas that have been going on this afternoon. Colin is renowned for his vociferous talking throughout the match, and I'm sure he's doing a little bit of winding up some of the St Helens players.
After all that, it's a penalty to Leeds. Gallagher was going to kick towards us and then changed his mind. And this time, well, I was going to say he's not found touch, but that's another error from Alan Hunt. Hunt was underneath it, watched it all the way. It probably swirled in the wing, and Gallagher's kick eventually finding touch off the chest of the luckless Alan Hunt. And it all means that Leeds have head and ball. Between Cooper, the 13 for St Helens, and the number 9 for Leeds, Colin Maskill. Meanwhile, Roy Powell says let's get on with it, and gives it to Harkin, who gives it to Schofield. Good tackling from Griffiths.
There we see the value of a player holding 3 men up in the tackle and unloading. Powell got Harkin away, and Schofield nearly made some good yards going into the try line.
Leeds continue to examine this St Helens defence. Harkin again. Now, was that collected cleanly? The referee says it was. Jonathan Griffiths.
There we saw Leeds deploying the low kick across the St Helens line, similar to Schofield's in the first half. But this time St Helens come away with the ball.
That's good play from Ward. Bringing young Andy Fairclough into the heat of the battle. Size of John Harrison. He can use his size so well, and he sets St Helens off again. And referee spots that Leeds had strayed offside at the play of the ball, points to Gary Schofield, penalty to St Helens. And a substitution. Mark Bailey is coming on for Alan Hunt. Alan Hunt scored 4 tries in his last 2 games. Not so successful here tonight. So he makes way for Mark Bailey, who scored against Leeds in the victory at Knowsley Road last season. Difficult job coming into a match like this with 12 minutes of the second half gone. It's gone a little chilly here in Yorkshire. Mark Bailey, I hope he's warmed up well, otherwise he might pull a hamstring or something.
I think the team who make the next score, Eddie, will have a prominent outlook on the end result of this. Both sides are significantly improved from first half, and the next score could be vital.
10-4, Leeds still ahead, and having to defend here against St Helens. Connolly, Cooper, Vivas into no man's land. Griffiths just, and he does well, manages to retain possession for his side. Cooper again. Loughlin. Tackled almost as he received the ball at exactly the same time there. Vivas. Well, they all stood off Gallagher. They had to. They would have strayed inside the 10 metres. And as Maskill receives attention, Gallagher is thundered to the floor. He'll need a touch of the wet sponge as well. And the referee has held up play while Maskill, the injured player, can be attended to without danger.
Yes, John Gallagher took a superb ball there from Phil Vivas, but Vivas and Cooper certainly took their pound of flesh out on John Gallagher.
Colin Maskill looks like he's going to have to make way, and Steve Malloy, big money signing from Warrington, is going to come on for his first team debut.
This substitution will force a reorganisation in the Leeds pack, and I half expect Richard Gunn going into hooker with Malloy taking up a prop position, Powell dropping work accordingly.
Well, they give him a big welcome here at Headingley. £110,000 worth of prop forward, signed from Warrington in midweek. He's only 21 as well, so they've got lots of service to come from Malloy. Be interesting to see how he does. And there he is in the thick of the action straight away. Harkin's kick was charged down. Kevin Ward doing well.
It's relatively easy for the Leeds defence to spot St Helens presently. The St Helens team are all bunched around the play of the ball without any width to attack at all.
A real shoulder into the wheel almost by Kevin Ward there. And St Helens really must get some width here. Little kick over the top. And Gallagher tidies up at the back for Leeds.
There we see the St Helens players all unloading onto the far side there, and Shane Cooper deploying a short kick over the top because there were Leeds defenders in numbers.
And he got a good bounce too, did Gallagher. It just bounced an inch or two infield before going out. Penalty at the scrum. Paul Harkin, the offender. These Aussies are in for a shock, aren't they?
I think Rex Moss will be coming up with a few expletives.
Ward. Talking to Kevin Ward before the match, he really has Got high hopes of getting back in that Great Britain side this winter. And crossing, obstruction, penalty to Leeds. So we've seen Colin Maskell depart the scene, but this is how the penalty came about.
Yes, there's a clear obstruction here. Number 9, Bernard Dwyer, obstructing the Leeds players, despite his disagreement.
Yes, he was not happy with that decision. But Gallagher will deposit the ball into touch. As I say, we've lost Colin Maskell, so let's go down to the trainer's bench, and Peter Hutton, he has a report on the hooker's injury.
Well, the news on Maskell is he's gone straight back to the dressing room because his shoulder's been lifted slightly out of position and is badly bruised, so they've taken him in to look at it straight away rather than wait around on the substitutes bench.
So Maskell has gone off, and Richard Gunn is a recognised hooker. David Ward, the Leeds coach in the Century picture there, he has had to reorganise his pack. Oh, and that looked a bit high from Loughlin. The whistle had gone as well. The touch judge is on. Dixon's pulling him off. Ford's pulling him off. And Gallagher, meanwhile, is laid flat out. And again, the referee stops the clock. This is how it happened.
Here we see Gallagher coming into Fairclough. He starts to make the tackle, and Paul Loughlin comes around with a very high tackle. Dixon unloads to Gallagher, as we see here. Gallagher goes outside Fairclough, and Loughlin comes in, ball in the wrong hand, and round the chin.
And Loughlin has been sent off for that by the referee. Off to the sin bin for 10 minutes. So he's in the sin bin, Paul Loughlin, after that high challenge on Gallagher. Gallagher checks his teeth. But after all that, it's a penalty for St Helens for the obstruction. Because the referee's whistle had gone when the challenge was made. There's Loughlin. I think he can count himself a lucky man. This time last year they were being sent off thick and fast for challenges like that, and off for good.
Definitely, the ruling has changed somewhat, and Paul can be very lucky to be just having 10 minutes rest there.
Otherwise he'd be having 8 matches rest, and that would put him out of the Great Britain side for the first test. As it is, he's in the sin bin, and St Helens are down to 12 men. And here's Kevin Ward. Oh, it's a bad-tempered match at times, isn't it? Players squaring up to each other on both sides. Griffiths with the kick ahead. I think that took a deflection, you know.
At the clash between Ward and Dixon, we saw Ward having a few words with Dixon. That effectively slowed the play of the ball down and forced St Helens into a kick because they were not set with the quick play of the ball that Ward could have given them.
And it did take a deflection, and so Jonathan Griffiths has the feed here for St Helens. The referee wants the scrum to form where he wants it. It's turned. Ford has come away with it, and Ford and Cooper are squaring up to each other. It really is a bad-tempered match, this, here on the Sports Channel tonight. Wonder why it is, Terry. Surely not just the presence of the cameras.
No, I think it's an occasion that both sides are so in charge to try and get the upper hand in this match. And again, Cooper and Ford have been at each other's throat most of the game.
Here comes Richard Gunn then for Leeds. Malloy. Good tackle by Beavers. Copybook stuff. Wayne.
I think the play may be coming with Schofield's side here.
There he is. Little kick over the top. The chase is on. Connolly tidies up at the back and does well, the young man.
a measure of the game, Eddie, is that each time that side is looking threatening, either errors or ill discipline is forcing the emphasis to switch to the other side. Hence we're not having many points scored or consolidated pressure. Now Leeds have had a chance though.
The Saints haven't made any progress. Leeds have moved up quickly. And that is the last tackle. So they're going to have to kick here to get out of trouble. Oh, but Jonathan Griffiths almost caught. Cooper gives it back to Vivas. Vivas can kick, but that's not a very convincing kick. And Gallagher gets the possession back for Leeds.
Leeds will be looking to assert pressure at this point and see if they can force the next score to save the game and really make it a home win.
Schofield, brilliant. The referee wipes the tackle count clear. So there's 6 more here for Leeds. Here he is again, Schofield. He's created another. And Simon Irving has scored his 3rd try of the season. And that could be the try that wins this match for Leeds.
Here we see Paul Harkin feeding Gary Schofield a super short pass on the gain line with Irving coming on at strength. Connolly hits him hard, but Irving's momentum has taken him into the corner and a try is scored. Harkin to Schofield. He stands Shane Cooper up, Kevin Ward. In he goes. Great try in the corner from Irving.
I think St Helens saying to the referee there that perhaps he hadn't grounded the ball properly. He looked to shoot away, but the referee right on the spot, so was his touch judge, and they had no doubts.
The ruling is if the player grounds the ball in a downward movement, even if the ball skids away, he is able to succeed the try.
So Irving with the chance to improve his own try, but my word, it's a difficult kick for him. He struck it well. Oh, he struck it brilliantly. Former Headingley Rugby Union star, debut against Bradford Northern this season, and he's added 6 points to the Leeds total here single-handedly.
Yes, that's a great score for Leeds, and though we see St Helens trying to obtain the ball back from the play of the ball from the kick-off like they did in the first half, on that occasion the ball didn't travel 10, Shane Cooper picked it up, and again they've given a penalty away from the kick-off.
And he's penalised St Helens from the kick-off there for the second time this half. So here come Leeds again. I've been impressed with John Gallagher tonight. Stood up to the task well. So it's swung Leeds' way, 16 points to 4. 23 minutes of this second half gone. Sean Wayne. Yet to be on a losing side for Leeds, Sean Wayne.
There we saw Gary Schofield, again looking where the St Helens defence were positioned. He took the ball to the left and saw Connolly out of position and put a chip through which nearly came to something.
Yes, it nearly did. And the crowd here tonight, 12,720 paying customers. And all of you sitting at home watching this and enjoying it, I hope, here on the Sports Channel. Leeds 16, St Helens 4. Big man John Harrison on the floor. What happened?
John takes a drive in, a strong tackle coming in from Dixon and Wayne. And the third man, Harkin, comes in just to finish off. And I think it was just an elbow in the ribs around the pelvic area.
Well, he's only 6'5". But having to run sideways. This fella never runs sideways, Kevin Ward.
We may see an element of sporadic passing from St Helens now. They have to try and catch up here, and this will force themselves into errors.
Ball's been hacked ahead. It's almost soccer style down there, and Beavers got to it, and Dixon came in very late, and he's flattened Phil Beavers there. Beavers' mouth guard has gone.
A kick and chase into the corner here, with the Leeds player and St Helens player tumbling over. Phil Beavers goes down on the ball correctly, and Paul Dixon comes in and gives him a real crack in the jaw. The gum shield spurned into the field. The touch stood straight onto it.
Well, if Lachlan got sent off to the sin bin for his indiscretion earlier, surely Paul Dixon should follow him for that.
Yes, that was a bad tackle from Paul. The guy was on the floor. Leeds are in the driving seat. You didn't have to give that penalty away.
And yes, Dixon is in the sin bin for 10 minutes as well.
Yeah, just proves we're right up here already.
And of course the referee doesn't have the benefit of action replays, but his touch judge saw enough, and quite rightly so. Dixon into the sin bin for 10 minutes, and as he comes in, Lachlan comes out. And Beavers is taking a bit of time to get over this. Lachlan been out for 10 minutes, and it's a chilly night here in Leeds now, as I said earlier, so he's having to warm up again before he comes back into the action. It really has been ill-tempered though, this.
Yes,
not a great advert for the game.
The game was flatter to deceive at times, Eddie. Leeds have got the upper hand with scoring the try just a few minutes ago, and St Helens will now have to throw the ball in to catch up.
Number 15 there is Jonathan Neal. He's coming on for Phil Beavers, who hasn't recovered from that challenge by Paul Dixon. And Jonathan Neal is on his debut here, played in the Alliance Cup final in 1989 against Leeds here at Headingley and lost. Well, but Beavers managing to carry on. Still looking a bit dazed, it must be said, but he's still there.
Those smelling salts work wonders these days, Eddie.
Good tackling from Irving on Griffiths. Connolly.
The Leeds tackling is quite aggressive at this point. They know that St Helens are going to try and stretch them. As a consequence, the tackling from Leeds is up to pace, and they're looking to hold this lead to the rest of the match.
Gallagher collects for Leeds. Good driving run down the middle, well watched by Mark Bailey. And Connolly has to pick up. Both sides using this wind.
Yes,
Tonight, and that's a good chase from Leeds again.
Paul Harkin, the wily professional, put a good raking kick on the second tackle there, and a good chase from Leeds, again emphasising that they've got the stranglehold at this point.
Laughlin's back on the field, and so Saints are back to full strength. Leeds, of course, one man down with Dixon in the sin bin. Can St Helens make their one-man advantage pay as Leeds did? Griffiths. Good tackling again from Schofield. Oh, nice sidestepping. Created a bit of space for Lachlan here.
It's been a feature of the match, the sidestepping of St Helens Standoff Fair Club. I've been very impressed with him. He's taken the man on numerous occasions and invariably beaten him with his step off his right or left leg.
St Helens, though, just not breaking through that cover defence of Leeds at the moment, are they?
And Leeds have got the bit between the teeth at presently. And St Helens, the pressure is on them to score some points.
Great play from Harkin, wonderful play. That's Gallagher backing up well. Good tackle from young Connolly on him. Powell. Another try here for Leeds, and it'll be curtains for Saints. Sean Wayne, powerful run. Now then, I wonder whether Harkin will have a little drop of goal here. Well, he's involved in that with Schofield. Great ball out to the far side. Gibson. Now, is that a try? Or is that not a try? It's no try. And Schofield not happy with the referee's decision. And a penalty to St Helens in the bargain.
Yes, Leeds will move the field in play. Harkin blocked Schofield around the blind side. He put a good overhead press over the top to Gibson, who was going very slow to the line, went over on his bike and turned over. I think that would have been a try.
He got it down, but the referee had brought the play back for an earlier penalty. So it would have been a try. Had it not been for that earlier infringement, the referee was quickly onto it. Good run. Paul Jones. Substitute warming up. David Creaser. And it's Simon Irving who's been lined up to take a breather. Meanwhile, St Helens in possession. Gone a little bit flat for St Helens play at the moment.
Their attacking ploys are looking rather ragged at the moment. They're frustrated, they can't get out of their half. They're playing against a strong wind. The kick isn't going to help them. They've got to play their way out of trouble.
Loughlin puts the boot to it. Forces Gallagher to retreat. Now then, will Gallagher kick back up the other end? Not this time. And he's forced into touch. Mistake by John Gallagher. But to be fair, there was no one in support with him.
On that occasion, John would have been better advised to go straight, make some yardage. He was endeavouring to get round the outside, and consequently they went in the end zone and into touch.
And it gives Leeds the opportunity to make their substitution. David Creaser coming on for Simon Irving. Irving's got a nasty cut over his eye, and he goes off to get some treatment as Creaser comes on. Fighting his way back, David Creaser, after 3 seasons of dreadful injuries. One of the lead stalwarts here at Headingley.
Yes, David Creaser has been around for a long time. He suffered with injury the last couple of seasons, but he's a great Britain international, and he'll be vying to a first team spot this season for Leeds.
We've got to do a bit of defending here, Leeds, at this moment. St Helens just a few yards short of that line. Gallagher's in the thick of the action there again, you saw. Fairclough, Griffiths, Ward's coming on strongly. Gives it to Vivers. Vivers just can't get through. This is the last tackle in this set. And Vivers has dropped the ball. And it's a scrum down, says the referee.
Here we see St Helens moving the ball wide. Phil Vivers coming in, again under a strong tackle. And it's scraped away by Malloy. And a scrum down given. But we saw Gary Schofield moving up very fastly there. And I think he slipped on the turf, which gave the St Helens player the impetus to go through the gap.
And 5-7 in St Helens favour the scrums. Gary Schofield, by the way, the Leeds man of the match. Now that ball never went in the scrum, and the referee has awarded a penalty to St Helens, and rightly so.
That was worth 2 penalties, that one.
So Saints have 6 more to set us up for a grandstand finish. The difference is 12 points. Five minutes of this match remaining.
We saw the St Helens trying to force the overlap, and the ball was thrown out wide, and a slight error in the passing and handling, and that leads off the hook.
That's the difference between the two sides. Leeds get vital possession from the scrum. And don't be surprised to see the ball go pinging down the other end of the field here. Both sides putting through a ton of work, and more than 100 tackles now for each of them. Offside at the play the ball by St Helens, so Leeds really can clear their lines now.
The last time John Gallagher kicked a touch, he made an error. He was changed his mind, if I recall, and he's coming to our commentary position on this occasion.
Yes, get ready for this one, Terry. Not quite, but he found touch.
I never used to catch him when I was playing.
John Gallagher. Full forward, in possession now for Leeds. Standing up. Here come Leeds again, Malloy. Obviously anxious to impress on his debut here. Spoke to David Ward on Friday. He said he decided to leave the pack alone because they did so well last week. But Malloy's presence on the bench, well, it's enough to make the Leeds pack play well again tonight. Here comes Powell, slipping out of the challenge. Good run from Powell. Can he unload? Well, he can't with all them round him.
Again, Leeds have got two good lines either side of the play the ball in the St Helens 25. A switch move on coming off Harkin.
Harkin. Oh, he's given it away. Oh, and that was poor play for St Helens, must be said.
Harkin trying to go for the pass, but being read by Shane Cooper, who has not got the fastest legs in the world, and didn't go all the way.
And we're deep in the last 5 minutes, so I suppose he can be excused. St Helens have seen more of the ball than Leeds, but Leeds have certainly made more of their time with the football.
I think it's fair to say Leeds have controlled the ball better in their possession, not given as many errors away, and as a consequence made more yardage and have capitalised on some ill discipline from the Saints side.
Lachlan puts boot to ball again. Gallagher has to retreat once more. Bounced kindly for him though, didn't it? Referee says that was round the chest. Try telling that to John Gallagher at this moment.
John again coming in for some stiff treatment here, bringing the ball away, and it was Jones on that occasion.
It was, to be fair, and it rode up over his shoulder. Referee said that ball went back as Ford dropped on it.
Again, the measure of the difference between the sides has been the performance of Gary Schofield. It must be heartening for everybody to see the way he's performed this evening, the way every time he touches the ball a little bit of magic comes from him.
Here he is again, right on cue. A good ball to Creaser. That was a good ball inside to Dixon, now back into the action off the sin bin. Harkin. Ford. Oh, the gap's opened up. Ford strolling in. That's the match to Leeds. And it all came about as a result of that break earlier from Gary Schofield. But Phil Ford, the try scorer, and going almost underneath the black dots.
Ball goes to Roy Powell, standing pass to Paul Harkin, who again carries the ball to the St Helens defence, and number 12 Jones stood up by Harkin. The gap opened up and Phil Ford accepts those all day. Here we see Harkin taking the ball up, waiting for somebody to come out of positions. Jones does. Phil Ford takes that, says thank you very much.
Brought it back round behind the posts. And here we see it again from the play the ball. The defence of St Helens just melted away, didn't it?
Paul Harkin was teething the defence here. Concentration lapsed by Jones. Ford just lodging with intent. And there he goes, Phil Ford, the correct way to put the ball down.
Schofield has added the extras. Gary Schofield, the Leeds man of the match, and a man perhaps to turn the Ashes series Great Britain's way in the next couple of months. We hope so. 22-4. It's going to be a good win for Leeds. A long journey home for St Helens, with losing pay in their pockets as well. There won't be much singing on that bus tonight.
No, the Saints are not going marching in tonight.
It has been a bad-tempered affair, though, I must say. Players squaring up to each other far too often for comfort. But such are the stakes in rugby league these days. Big money, much pressure. But at the end of the day, Leeds will be delighted.
I think both clubs demand success.
Griffiths on a run. Can he get round Gallagher? No. I have been impressed with him tonight, I must say, John Gallagher.
Gallagher has played very well.
Griffiths, the man in possession. He's no slouch. Gallagher.
Good technique.
And the referee, eagle-eyed as Paul Harkin was, saw that the ball had gone to ground. Dixon, good run. And 2 minutes of added time has been played by the referee and the timekeepers. Good signings, I think, from David Ward. The acquisition of Wayne and Malloy to bolster this pack. But this is the magician as far as Leeds are concerned, Gary Schofield.
Both the signings from Lancashire, Malloy and Wayne, have performed admirably tonight. They've added some fire and brimstone to the Leeds pack. And at times, just simple, take the ball straight, give these guys a chance to go.
Look at this fella go now. Oh, well tackled by Connolly. The two number ones clashing. Connolly not letting the big money import from New Zealand Rugby Union get round him. But Leeds still coming forward. Powell. Deep into added time here. Leeds have got the match won, but they want a couple more points. 6 would be nice. Schofield. Dixon just can't get the ball away, but does so. Wayne. And that's Richard Gunn. Clinging on to possession. Wayne again, Harkin. Kick ahead. Nothing down for him this time. Griffiths does well.
Yes, concerted pressure from Leeds at that point. St Helens were split by the move to the left-hand side, with a superb tackle from Connolly, and Leeds tried all the old ploys around the half-back, but couldn't break them on this occasion.
Well, the referee has stopped the clock a number of times in this second half. I hope the timekeepers haven't gone home. They've played nearly 4 minutes of additional time. And I'm told that there have been 5.5 minutes of injury time recorded in this second half. He's played 4, so we have about another minute and a half for you of rugby league on the Sports Channel tonight. Can we get a little bit of icing on the cake? Phil Ford with a good run. Schofield from acting halfback. Ball went back, referee waves play on. Harkin. Powell. Schofield again. Looking for the runners, doesn't need them. Oh, and Leeds again were first to the ball there, and St Helens, they must be worn out now and sick of the sights of the amber and blue jerseys.
Yes, a little plus there for Fairclough. He actually tackled Gary Schofield the first time he's got near him tonight, and he pulled the ball from his grasp.
Still they come forward. And there's 6 more, says the referee. St Helens player touched it, so this really is sustained pressure. Powell! Powell! Has he scored? No. he can only be an inch away. He's not even got the ball. Dixon.
Paul Dixon has had a strong running game. He runs low to the ground, has a strong handoff and makes good yards on each occasion.
Gallagher, 5.5 minutes of added time. I've never known the second half of a rugby league match last 45 minutes before. But this one has. And here's Harkin. The icing's on the cake. Drop goal from Paul Harkin. A cheeky smile, and there is the full-time siren. So a good display from Leeds. The last goal scored by Paul Harkin. There's the scoreboard for you. Tries from Schofield, Gallagher, Irving and Ford. No tries for St Helens, just 2 goals from Paul Loughlin. A comprehensive victory for Leeds by 23 points to 4. And Paul Harkin shaking hands. He and Gary Schofield at halfback have been the instigators of this win here at Headingley. So I hope you've enjoyed our coverage again. Leeds against St Helens. Next week the Aussies are here. We'll see you then. Goodbye.